Coming to you live Sunday, May 4th. Sage, the Warriors get it done when everybody thought that it was over. After game 6, nobody was thinking that the Warriors would pull through. But this is the Buddy Hield game from here on out. Buddy Hield comes in the first half, scores 22. Steph Curry, maybe the worst first half that we've ever seen from Steph Curry, turns it on late to lock up the game. And Sage, they advance. They take care of business. The Houston Rockets are vanquished. We're on to Minnesota, baby. How you feeling?
Chase, I have to give you credit. I have to give you a lot of credit because I hadn't thought about this until I talked to you about this. And I said, for as much of demons as we had with this whole 3-1, whatever bullshit that was hanging over our heads, you said the Houston Rockets, Warriors late in series demons are even bigger, even worse, clearly came to fruition today. They were tight. That was a tight, inexperienced basketball team. They were not ready for the moment. Clearly, the Warriors were. They played hard from start to finish. They really, I was anxious, just naturally anxious. But when you take a step back, you watch it, they controlled that game. From start to finish, they controlled that game. Shout out to Buddy Hield because he put that, got it going and really helped us build that momentum.
Sage, without Buddy Hield, I think you're down 15 at that point in the game. Steph Curry did not have it going. Draymond was, that was the big thing, Sage, for me, is that first half, you take control of the game. Buddy Hield goes crazy. This was just, Buddy Hield's only going to have one game like this his entire life. This is going to be the best game of Buddy Hield's career. But also, the defense, Draymond Green, all night. We gave Draymond a lot of flack for what we saw last game. Gets the flagrant early, just doesn't look like himself the entire game. Sage, he was all over Alfred Şengün. He maybe got, how many rebounds did he get? Maybe about 10. But how many tip out rebounds did he have? He was all over the boards and hit a couple threes to start off the game too. So it was really Draymond and Buddy Hield who got them going in the first half. And the Rockets really never made it close. They really didn't. I always felt the entire way that the Warriors had it going.
I really never felt close. To start the fourth quarter, you come out right away. You get a Steph layup, a Steph 3, and you just immediately kill any momentum they had going into the quarter. They're playing catch up right off the bat, and you're just going back and forth, exchanging buckets. When they're not scoring, you're just bleeding the shot clock, hucking some BS, whatever. You're playing your cards right. You're letting your guys rest so they could go hard on defense, protecting the lead. I loved it. I thought Steve Kerr finally had a good game. He didn't fuck around. The Kuminga minutes were tough.
Kuminga, oh my God. Wow.
Kuminga minutes were tough to watch for sure. I think he's on ice for the rest of the playoffs. He has to be. But Kevon Looney steps up, right?
Yep.
You don't have DP2. How can you fill in his minutes? You put Moody in that role, limited minutes. Moody had a tough night shooting, but was grabbing boards, some big man rebounds down there. You kind of minimize what Şengün could do. Or not Şengün, Steven Adams, right? Your team rebounding, boxing out as a unit, having your guards come in. Clennon was talking about it. I don't know if you watched the local broadcast, but he said one of the things they emphasized after game 6 is pinching Adams to the center and having the guards come down and grab the boards. That's what was happening all night. It wasn't a big Draymond rebounding game, Looney. It was the guards coming in. I think Steph had 7. Buddy Hield was all over the boards, like you mentioned, just team rebounding, coming together as a unit, all chips in the middle of the table. They came together, and it was beautiful to watch, man. I cannot believe it. I thought we were cooked after game 6. But
everybody did. Sage, you weren't the only one. Everybody thought that we were cooked. And the reason I didn't get it is because I said we played bad, but also the Rockets played their best game possible. They shot 45% from 3. I think they shot 50% from the field. They were locking us up, and I just knew that wasn't going to happen again. I knew eventually Fred VanVleet, even though he still had a good game today, he came back to earth a little bit. Amen Thompson, talk about a turnaround from the start of the series.
My God.
He was scary there at the end. When he was just getting to the bucket, I think there was one play where Şengün missed it, and he, from 5 feet away, just tipped it in. I'm like, we can't stop this guy. But the Warriors' defense, I think, other than Buddy Hield, was the story of the game. The Rockets' defense, the entire series has been the only one getting the credit, but the Warriors have a top 5 defense in the league, too. This is one of the most elite defenses in the entire NBA, and they showed it. They showed it all night today, and that was probably the biggest reason they won the game.
They started guarding VanVleet like he was Steph Curry. You damn near had to, the way he was shooting the ball. On those high pick and rolls, just bringing 2, keeping 2 of VanVleet, never leaving his sight. It worked. He had 12, or he had a quiet game. He came alive at the end a bit, hitting those threes, but they were out of it. Finished with 17 points, but I think he had 12 points when the game really mattered. kind of piled up some stats there at the end, but you really tried. You said, we're going to take away we're going to take away Van Fleet. When we take away Van Fleet, these long rebounds aren't going to be going to them. More stuff inside. They can never really go on a run because it's 6 points, then we answer with a 3. It's 4 points, then we answer with 2 threes. Just like that, everything they did gets minimized. Quick maths there. But I just think that the way we coached, the way we adjusted in game 7, it was huge. They just rolled out the same shit that they've been doing the whole time, thinking the Warriors had nothing to stop it. Got to give credit to Steve Kerr. Like I said, they had something going. They figured out that zone at the end. They were able to get buckets when they needed to. And you did it with a very, very quiet Steph and Jimmy first half. Maybe they were conserving themselves, but they weren't doing much and you had the lead. That's when I really started to feel good.
We can suck the Warriors' cock all that we want to with this game. Let's be honest. I think the Rockets kind of blew it. I think the Rockets had a chance. There were long stretches. There were long stretches in that second half, though, Sage, where our offense couldn't get anything going. And that was the Rockets' chance to take the game, get the crowd back into it. You brought up how they're trying to get Fred VanVleet out of the game. We weren't going to let him do what he did the past 3 games. Who's the next guy that they got to rely on? Jalen Green. Well, okay, Sengun, but Jalen Green. You got to rely on Jalen Green to hit some key shots. Sage, Jalen Green tonight, 3 of 8, 8 points, -6. What did the TNT guys say about Jalen Green? They're like, you're too good to only take 8 shots. And that was in game 4. Game 7. Only takes 8 shots at home. His stock went way down after the series for me.
Someone, who was it? Was it Van Fleet? Two games ago said after the game, he's the second most talented shooting guard in the league. It's like, bro, like they are so far ahead on this guy. I do not get it. I think they would have been better putting Jabari in there over him. Someone who could just hit a 3. He was getting to the rim, but like, I just don't know what he does to benefit this team. He's easy pickings on defense, and then he's not giving you anything on offense. Like, what's the point of even having him out there? He doesn't rebound. He's an average defender at most. We could go at him when we wanted to, but I don't know. It really wasn't his series. I don't know what this guy's ceiling is. I don't know what he is as a player, because you look at him, he has everything that's there, but he just can't put it together. They're a weird fucking team.
They are a weird team.
Every game, it's like Chase, like, remember at the beginning, we were so lucky that they were playing Amen over Jabari.
Yeah.
And then Amen was their best player today, and it wasn't even close. That guy was a fucking beast. I don't know what this guy's ceiling is. It reminds me of like Kawhi, like something, but his defense is elite. And if he could start hitting shots with the way he could handle and get to the rim, like, look out. This guy's a monster. I gotta give him
jumper. It's the jumper. If he gets a jumper, the rest of the league's got issues. But the Rockets are a weird team because, like I said after the last game, when I say 8 deep, I mean they're 8 deep, right? But Jabari Smith, guys that we brought up last game, Tari Eason, guys who have been killing us all game. I mean, Steven Adams. Steven Adams had 3 points today. He was a -9. Tari Eason, I think he was 2 of 6. Jabari Smith, 1 of 5. The bench guys that they relied on in the past 2 games to get them W's didn't pull through. You didn't have Jalen Green go off. Fred VanVleet got, what did he end up with? 17 points?
17 points. Yeah, he had 12 when it was close.
The Rockets are a tough defensive team, but they just didn't have enough offense. That was their issue coming into the series. And, eventually you get lost in the sauce, right? When you're in the series, you see what they did in game 6 and you kind of forget that fact heading into game 7, but they just didn't have enough offense. And even though the Warriors struggled, the Rockets defense was great all series. It just wasn't enough. It just wasn't enough for them.
It really was at the end, right? Like, it was a back and forth series. The Warriors' top talent could only get them so far, but at the end it was coaching, right? Like, Ime, maybe his worst, terrible performance.
Oh, the challenge? That was the worst challenge I think I've ever seen.
You go in with 7 minutes left in the third quarter. You have, is it 2 or 3 timeouts? And then you end up going home with 2 timeouts. There's 2 timeouts you just leave out there on the board. You feel handcuffed when the Warriors are going on that initial run. You can't call one. And then midway through the fourth, you don't want to call one in case you get it, in case you guys get it close and you need it at the end for situational play. So I just thought it was a really bad Ime performance as well. The substitutions, barely playing Adams in that first half. I didn't understand it. I really didn't understand it.
He looked bad. I mean, he looked bad to start the game, Sage. He had a couple turnovers. I think there was one where
it's about damn time, bro.
Out of bounds. Yeah, he did not look good in that first half.
Who did this guy think he was playing against us? I am so glad we don't have to see him. Give me Rudy Gobert. I am fine with Rudy Gobert. I am more scared of Steven Adams than I will ever be of Rudy Gobert or Julius Randle. I am so glad we are done with this team. They are the 2 seed for a reason.
I know. No, and Sage, I think that's the biggest point coming out of this is that, was this an all-time game? I don't think so. I mean, I don't think this is a top 5 Warrior win that I can remember. I think I'd still get the edge to the Kings win in game 7, but I think part of it was that I fucking hated this Houston Rockets team.
Yeah, 100%.
I hated it. And the stakes were so high because not only does the dynasty probably go down, but you blow another 3-1 lead. You know how much shit Steph's going to get if he blows another 3-1 lead. And you know you would blow the 3-1 lead to? Dylan Brooks, Jalen Green, Fred VanVleet. You know they would be talking smack. The next 3 days would have been hell. Watching the rest of the playoffs would have been a nightmare. So after Game 6, not a lot of people were confident. I'm just glad that we took care of business and we avoided this ultimate embarrassment.
Chase, how about this? Steph Curry in the fourth quarter, 14 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 5 for 6 from the field, 2 for 3 from 3. Just like that veteran medal when you need it at the end, when the game's close, you have a chance in that fourth quarter as it tips off to put them away. Like you said, like look who they have on the other side. You can take their hearts early. You do it. Steph Curry goes on a solo run to start the fourth, has the strongest fourth quarter he's had this entire playoffs. I mean, he's kind of, to be fair, died down in the fourth a bit. He's been tired, running on tired legs. He was energized today. Wasn't going to let Cannon, his son, down, who was crushed last time they lost, was crying, pouting. Wasn't going to let it happen. I mean, dude, I was so frustrated. Chase, I said, I was also
Sage, I'm not going to release the tapes on you. I said I might release the tapes on you.
I'm a passionate.
We're going to hold it, but Jesus Christ.
Passionate watcher.
Some of the shit coming out of your mouth was insane.
I'll say anything. I'll do anything. It's like the Bud Light commercials. It's only weird if it doesn't work. Like I'll do anything. I'm moving things around my house, pictures, flipping everything. Like I will do anything to flip the momentum. I feel like I have an impact on the game. I can't wait to go to Game 3. It's going to be this weekend. It's going to be a great time, but I'm just happy we have more Warriors basketball. I'm happy that we put this Houston Rockets team to bed this season because they're going to be, maybe it's not like the Grizzlies. They remind me of the Grizzlies where I'm like, I'm glad we got them now because they're going to be hell to deal with in the future.
They are going to be hell to deal with in the future. Yeah, Ime Udoka. I mean, I think everybody felt like the Rockets had the edge. Sage, the Warriors were plus 120 against this Houston Rockets team. This Houston Rockets team with no playoff experience. Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Steve Kerr, 4-time champions. Jimmy Butler, who I think's been in 5 or 6 Game 7.
You're saying Game 7. They're plus 120. Oh, okay.
They were plus 120. I'm just shocked that even after Game 6 that nobody believed in the Warriors, not even Vegas. So it just feels good because, Sage, I went down with the ship. I was going to go down with the ship. I laid a monster bet on the Warriors, and not only does it feel so good because we got more playoff basketball, we get to get more content in. We maybe get to go to the game Saturday, but
go to the Chase Center.
When you get some extra Skrill on the side because of it, just makes it all that much sweeter, man.
I can't wait, man. I mean, you saw the Thrive City crowd on, Friday? They were crushed. They deserve more, man. I can't believe we're still alive. It's coming back after this, but I don't know. Just a weird game. I'm glad we came out on top from the beginning.
Fest.
I mean, yeah, from the beginning, like I kind of deep down inside knew we were going to win unless we just collapsed. I said we'd have to try to lose in that fourth quarter because of what the Rockets were doing on offense. It's just so weird. Like that 3-game stretch, or that 2-game stretch between 5 and 6, like how hot they got and how good they looked on offense. That's the exception, not the rule. Like this was what happened Game 1, 2, 3, 4, and then now 7. So they got hot there, gave us a scare, man. I am beyond thankful we're done with them. Those miracle threes weren't falling. I mean, when Buddy Hield pulled up to end the first quarter from 40 feet out and he hit it, just bottomed it, I was like, okay, maybe tonight's our night. Thank God.
I mean, that kind of reminded me of that Jordan Poole 3. Was that Game 2 of the finals?
He did it Game 2 and Game 5.
Yeah, when that happened, it seemed like it was our night, right? But
yeah,
this team beat the shit out of us, Sage. I don't want to talk about the Wolves series just yet, but even though we got by them, they beat the shit out of us all series. We win 7 games with them, so there may be some lingering stuff going on with the Warriors because of facing the Rockets. But dude, this is NBA playoffs. It's survive in advance. That's all you could hope for. Who's the guy that we haven't brought? I mean, we didn't even bring up Jimmy Butler.
Kind of a quiet Jimmy game, but he was impactful on both ends.
Though, all game.
Yeah, impactful on both ends. Nothing really loud, but was, the steady hand, kind of, keeping the ship afloat.
Not a lot of Quinn Post minutes. Only 3 minutes today. Yeah, I mean, we brought up the Jonathan Kuminga minutes. That did not work out.
Are you a bit nervous of how, thin our bench is starting to look? I mean, no GP2, obviously, who's a guy who's going to get minutes, but it feels like we can't. I mean, Looney's making his way back into it, but it feels like you can't trust Post. It seems like Moody's slowly getting, closer. Like each game, he moves one seat closer to the end of the bench. Like You're starting, okay, now you're the sixth man. Okay, now you're the seventh man. Now we're going to give you 5 minutes. Like every game, he's just slowly moving down, like making me a little nervous. Couldn't hit anything today. Him and Pods could not hit anything today. But
Pods towards the end of the game was killing me, man,
dude,
because he started
shot.
off the game. He started off the game well. He was aggressive, almost maybe to a fault. But what I love about Podziemski, and I feel like this is something that we don't really think about because he's so reliable, but with Steph, it's really nice to have a guy who's such a reliable ball handler, especially 100%. Against a defense like the Rockets. I never had to worry about situations where they got 2 guys on Steph. Somebody else has to bring up the ball. Podziemski's very solid, but he was missing a lot of shots late in the game. But I love Pods. I thought that he was great towards the end of this series, and I just need him to be aggressive. Whenever Podziemski's aggressive, that's when he's playing his best. It's when he's trying to pull back a little bit and not being as assertive. That's when it's like, okay, pause, we can't play you. So I didn't see that today.
I would shock Steve left him in there at the end. Like, he is a big rebounder. Like, for a guard, he grabs a lot of boards, but we just need someone who could have shot. There was that 3-minute stretch where, I mean, they weren't scoring, but we weren't scoring. Like, we could have put the game away there, but I don't know. I was just like, can we get Moody? Moody's big. He could defend, but it's what you said. You need a ball handler. They ran like a full court press there for a little bit. You had to have someone else bring the ball up who wasn't Steph. Holding Steph left and right off the ball. Steph was frustrated. Steph was very frustrating that first half. Like when he was going with the foul baiting, complaining after everything, put his head down, got in the post a few times, went to the rim. I mean, dude, like Steven Adams, like that's another thing. Like how many times do you see the Warriors go to the rim this series? Like they could not get by these Rockets defenders. And when they did, it was a Steven Adams just rejection, spiking it into the depths of the earth, right? Like I think you're going to be so relieved to not have to deal with that anymore. Someone like Gobert now, next, right? Who you could play off the court. You've done it so many times in so many playoff moments. So I'm just happy, man. Because Gobert's really – what you saw in Game 5 against the Lakers, that's not Gobert. He did it once the entire series with a 6-inch height advantage the entire game. They're playing LeBron at the center, Roy at the center, right? He could have done that the entire series. It's not in him. Draymond's not going to let it happen. I think we're going to be able to play him off the court. They're going to have to run Randall at the 5. It'll be very interesting. I'm very intrigued to see what we get Tuesday because you're playing with house money Tuesday. No one on earth is expecting the Warriors to come out and win on Tuesday.
Game 2 is the series. I think whoever wins Game 2 is going to win that series. Game 1's going to be tough. Is it confirmed that it's Tuesday? That we got Game 1 against the Timberwolves on Tuesday?
In Minnesota on Tuesday.
That's going to be a tough one. I think that if the Warriors are able to steal one in Minnesota, that's going to give them a good chance to win the series. But Sage, I think the guy who, like we said, didn't get a lot of minutes today, but it's going to be huge in that series, Quinn Post. How are you going to play Rudy Gobert off the court? You got to spread it out. And Quinn Post, even though he struggled towards the end of the series, he's a guy that you got to have in there, Sage. He's a guy who could hit shots, and I think, in all honesty, Kerr just didn't want to play him. It's a Game 7. It's high intensity, and we've seen him look like a deer in the headlights, right? I mean, Game 6 a couple days ago, a couple bad fouls, missed a couple shots, a couple turnovers. So I think towards the start of the series, though, I'm going to be able to rely on Quinn Post a little bit more. He's got to play minutes, and he's going to be big for what we try to do to neutralize Rudy Gobert a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be more so how you switch and get him on defense. Like, if you could expose him, get him out on the perimeter because he cannot defend. I mean, Steven Adams was he ever put in harm's way? It seemed like we never tried to go at him. They ran that double big where they could protect him.
A couple times, I'm like, dude, take him to the rack,
dude. Man. I know.
What are you pulling up for?
Fucking the one where he was on the right wing. Me and Najib were just like, dude, take him, and he just jab 3 brick. It's like, come on, bro. You have an insane speed advantage on this guy. Like, get him, hit your little pump fake, try and go up. But they're gonna learn, man. Like, it was his first playoff series. It was not Moody's first playoff series, but first playoff series actually getting minutes. The guy's been relegated to the end of the bench basically his entire time here with Clay. They're going to learn. They're going to get better, learning under like these vets. I'm confident, man. I really think we could beat the Wolves. I really do.
So you know what was interesting after Game 6, Sage? So I don't know if you were listening, but I think this came from Anthony Slater. After they got done with media in Game 6, Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry, apparently Draymond Green called them over to a separate room in the Chase Center. And it's basically like a little like office corridor. Got in there, shut the door. I think a major reason of what happened after Game 6 is that those 3 got together. And I know that Steve Kerr definitely has a lot of influence in what happens with that lineup, but I almost think that they equally have their say in who they throw out there. So it seems like they love Buddy It seems like they love
Buddy.
Buddy Hield.
Alfred.
You know he's Jimmy Butler's best friend on the team. They all seem to like him. He's a good vibes guy. But at the end of the day, Sage, you just need guys who can hit motherfucking shots. And you saw today that Buddy Hield on a good night could be that guy. So it's going to be tough for Moses to get back into that starting lineup. I don't think it's going to be possible now, but he's a guy that you need in there 15 minutes. You need to find a way to get Moses Moody some confidence because you're going to need him to contribute if you want to go deeper into these playoffs.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, can you get these guys like some rest? Can you take off some of the offensive stress from Steph and Jimmy? Just someone who could step up, hit some shots when you need to when they're open. Just a reliable hand. I mean, we took Klay Thompson for granted. Like just a guy when Steph isn't having it, like he's going to hit open shots. Like if it's an open clutch corner three, like it's going in, it's bottom. So can someone do it? I mean, if it's going to be Buddy, it's going to be Buddy. Buddy's historically the best shooter in the league other than Steph in the 2020s. Like he's made the most. Crazy. He has one of the highest percentages. It's crazy. He's on the same team. Like, is it in there? He was getting a lot of open looks. Third quarter, I don't think he put up a single shot in the third quarter. I think he just put up that one grenade with the shot clock running out. And then other than that, did not shoot in the third quarter. Came back alive in the fourth, hit the corner three, hit the three on the wing. Clutch buckets. I think he hit the three to put us up 20 and really put it to bed. So he's great at he can't handle it, but he's quick as fuck. Like he gets to the rim very easily. When he gets like a step on someone, you can't really catch up on him. Gets to the rim, underrated
great
finisher.
Defender too.
He's a willing defender.
I like his defense, but
he was good today.
Another big guy. I mean, the ghost of Kevon Looney. The ghost of Kevon Looney with 11 minutes today. Sage, he had big minutes, man. He had big minutes. He got a bucket. Dude, great
But
defense.
He had two blocks today. Buddy,
two blocks
today, both on Şengün, yeah.
Well, I mean, that stretch, that was kind of what sealed it, right? Where you get the block on Şengün, and then I think they go down and score. I forgot who scored that bucket. But then he gets to steal that leads into the Van Fleet flagrant foul on Jimmy. Okay. Yeah. How dirty was that on a scale of 1 to 10?
6. It wasn't too dirty.
It was fun because Jimmy's right when it happened, I'm like, you dirty motherfucker. Like I was motherfucking the TV. But then as you look at the replay, it's like Jimmy clearly stopped behind him. Yeah. He just, they're down 12. It's like their season. He's like, I'm just trying to get through.
No, but like imagine
that's when the game ended.
Yeah, imagine running at full speed and then Jimmy just goes in front of you and stops. But it's because he extended the arm. They had to call the flagrant. Or it wasn't even a flagrant. It was clearly a clear path foul, like a transition take, whatever it is.
I mean, that
was clear as day. So when they called it common, I was like, what the hell? They're reviewing if it's a flagrant. I didn't think it was a flagrant. I was like, it has to just be a transition take.
Dude, Jimmy wanted all the smoke when he got up there. For the first half second, he was ready to go. And then he realized, like, wait, hold on. I'm in game 7 of NBA playoff series and we're up 12. Like, I can't do anything right now. But
four terrible Dylan Brooks games. I thought he was going to be an issue after the first 2 games. Like, fuck, we got to worry about this.
He was the guy I was most scared of the entire first part of the series.
Yeah, and just did nothing. Like, kind of like got taken out of the rotation. I mean, at 36 minutes tonight, but really they were at their best when he was off the floor.
Şengün, I mean, tough game for Şengün too.
Şengün, I mean, Tari Eason with some of the most boneheaded turnovers, like missing open shots, like everything. Like Şengün's not Jokic. He looked like Jokic for 5 out of the 7 games.
He's talented, Sage. I gotta give him credit. He's so fucking talented.
Is. But like, it eventually water finds its level. I just feel like it did today. Like, I just feel like we were the better team from start to finish. They started feeling themselves. The quotes that came out today, Şengün saying they hadn't lost a single game this series to the Warriors. They've just lost to themselves. Did you see that one? He's like, we beat ourselves 3 times and then we beat them. Jalen Green coming out after not doing anything. Tari Eason holding up the 7 to the Warriors crowd. I'm glad we disposed of them now. And just like they can get us next year, but we'll always have this over them. And they're going to be a lot different next year too.
Okay. So these are the 3 things that I want to hear over the next 24 hours. I need to hear Nick Wright. I need to hear what Nick Wright has to say.
He's just going to say we're dead against the Wolves. We're drawing dead against the Wolves.
But I want him to admit that he was wrong because he almost had a chance to come back. But I want to hear Nick Wright. I want to hear Colin Cowherd, our boy Uncle Colin.
He said that there was no chance.
He didn't watch more than 10 Houston Rockets games the entire year. You would have thought that he had a townhouse in Houston and season tickets to the Rockets. The way that he was talking them up before the series. I want to hear Uncle Colin. Sage, the Twitter spaces from these Rockets fans.
Bias Houston.
Oh my God. That is going to be like, that's going to inject that into my veins, dude. I cannot wait to see all the Houston Rockets fans and how distraught they're going to be after the Warriors did this to them. I mean, Buddy Hield, could you imagine if you're a Rockets fan and Steph Curry goes for 3 points in the first half, You would think, okay, we're up 20 points. We're cruising. No, Buddy Hield has 23 points in the first half, and you eventually lose again to the Warriors.
And it's funny because it was like Jalen Green was supposed to be their guy, and he just totally leads you astray this series. You have your best series from Fred ever. Alperen Şengün, like we said, is becoming kind of coming into his own, maybe a future star. And then it's just like, no, like Buddy Hield's going to put us to bed tonight after coming back from 3-1. Like, it's just too good.
They're almost in a bad spot because they have so many young guys where it's like, okay, this is good. We got a lot of young talent.
It's good till it's not, yeah.
At some point, the contract's got to come out. You got to sign these guys to big deals. You could probably only keep 3 of them. Who do you keep? You definitely got to keep Şengün.
Amen and Şengün are the 2 you build around.
Yeah, you got to keep Amen. Jalen Green, like you said, Sage, he was their guy coming into the series, their highest scorer. I would not give him a max deal.
He's gone. He'll be in so many trade talks for KD and Giannis this offseason. It's not even funny. Being a Rockets fan is fun right now because it's like you literally have the package to go get anyone you want. I don't think they'll get anyone, but they have the Godfather package, as some would say.
Being a Rockets fan over the past 10 years must have been crazy. Like, you had so many big moves with the Rockets. I mean, you get James Harden. Then you get Chris Paul. Then you trade him for Russell Westbrook. You trade James Harden. And now, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of smoke with KD the Rockets, and he'd be a perfect fit, Sage. He is exactly what the Rockets need.
I mean, they're basically bringing back their entire roster next year. They have Dylan Brooks for 2 more seasons. Jalen Green's extension kicks in next year. He's starting to make $33 million starting next year. What's Şengün at? Şengün's extension kicks in next year too. So Şengün hits $33 million starting next year as well. So they're going to start to lose these guys. I mean, their salary jumps up so much next year. It's crazy.
I don't know. I have a better knowledge of who killed Kennedy than what the NBA second bracket, tax bracket stuff is. Like, I don't know. I just kind of rely on Shams and Brian Windhorst to give me the info. I can't look at the contracts and tell you what they could do. That's just
second
not my
bracket,
expertise.
tax bracket, Dubs and 7.
There we go. Yeah, Houston, yeah. Any Draymond podcast coming out? Has he been doing the podcast lately?
Speaking of Draymond, though, maybe his best first half, like in his career since Game 7 against the Cavs. Like, got out the quick 10, was playing insane defense, was blocking shots without even having to jump, was just all over, pestering. It looked like he knocked out Fred VanVleet there. Like, you got to start to finish, just like insane Draymond game.
The flails, I get it. I've seen it for so long. You would think, okay, maybe this is something that is just like a natural reaction. I still don't buy it. It enrages me every time I see it. I'm like, really, dude? Bro. You're playing so great. Like, come on. No one gets fouled and then just goes like that or kicks out into somebody's balls. I can't.
No, it's so funny because when VanVleet did that, I was watching the game with my brother. I was like, oh, but he hit him in the face because he was holding his hand down, and then it's like, no, he hit the right hand, and then he flailed him with the left right into the chin.
You try to make excuses for him when you see it live.
Yeah, the tech there was crazy. I was like, they really don't want to throw this guy out. And he got a flagrant there. He would have been 1 flagrant away from getting suspended. 3 flagrant points in the first round. Like, you can't have that, bro. I mean, we got to put him on watch.
I mean, Draymond's like your alcoholic uncle who is the funniest guy in the room, right? He's the funniest guy in the room. Everybody loves him. And then the other 20% of the time, like, he loses his job, gets in a fight with his wife, and is just blackout drunk at Christmas, right? Like, you're going to get these kind of experiences with Draymond, but you just got to roll with it because he's the fucking man.
It's one of the underrated things transitioning from the Rockets to the Wolves is like, I think the Wolves are a very undisciplined and dumb team where like the Rockets are a very disciplined defensive team. Like, they play tough. They play as close to the line as possible, but you don't see them jumping in the air. Like the Jimmy pump fake, they never bid for it. Like Jimmy was not getting to the line as much as usual. Jimmy is going to put Julius Randle into such deep foul trouble. He's going to torture that guy. He's going to be able to get to the block on him and get to the line on Julius Randle. I'm telling you right now, watch out for that. The Jimmy pump fakes on Julius Randle will be the difference in that series. Getting him to the line, getting him in foul trouble. They won't be able to play Gobert or Randle. It's going to be like a Nas Reed show.
All right. So let's close out this series a little bit because I do want to talk a little bit about T-Wolves. I mean, shit. I mean, we got a quick turnaround stage. We got Tuesday against the T-Wolves.
Guess that line.
Game 1?
Yeah, game series? 1. Game 1.
Okay,
I don't know. I'll look up series.
Yeah, look up series. Shit, game 1. Okay, so you got the Warriors coming off of 7 games. Only 1 day of rest. I think the last game the T-Wolves played was what?
Last Wednesday.
Wednesday? Yeah, so
Yeah.
they're coming in with like 5 days of rest. I gotta say it's -5.5.
-5.5.
Am I good or am I good, Sage?
If you give me the series, I'll say you're good.
That's a tough one. I definitely don't think the Warriors are favored. I think that everybody loves the T-Wolves. I think they were tied when I saw the futures for the championship. So it's going to be close. T-Wolves got the home court advantage. I'm going to say T-Wolves -135. Yeah, I'm going to say T-Wolves -135.
So the championship odds updated. T-Wolves -175. Warriors are +2,200 to win the ship now. T-Wolves are +1,500. So with the final 8 now, the Warriors have the 5th best odds to win. They're right dead smack in the middle.
Vegas thinks that this series is going to take a lot out.
Yeah, 100%. Also, they look so bad in 6 and 5 that I feel like they look weaker than they did at first. Like at first, it was like they were the hottest team in basketball. There's not really many flaws, and now Vegas is starting to kind of see like they're small. They can get beat on the glass. You can punish them inside. Like there's ways that these really good teams could beat them, like in OKC, for example.
Yeah, the thing is, Sage, I like with the way that Steph Curry played in game 5, 6, honestly, he struggled, I think, a lot of points towards the end of the series, right? This was not the best Steph Curry that we've ever seen, but the Rockets defense had a lot to do with that. And I know that the T-Wolves do have a lot of guys that could guard him, right? I mean, they got Jay McDaniels, they got Anthony Edwards on the perimeter, they got Rudy Gobert in the paint, but I just don't think that the T-Wolves are going to be able to give him the same issues. And
I don't either.
I don't know what the league's going to do. I don't know what kind of initiative they're going to put out there, but this was ridiculous the way that Steph Curry was officiating the series. I know that we're Warriors fans. I know that we're going to look like we're bitches, but it really was insane. He was getting held the entire series, off ball, even at the top of the key. I'm interested to see how they call the first couple games, the defense on Steph Curry, because that's going to be huge into if we could win or not.
I think the Wolves are a physical team, but more interior. Like they're physical down low. Like their guards, like Jaden's an idiot. Like he's always in foul trouble for a guard, but him and Ant, they're not like, I don't know how to describe them, like Amen Thompson, Dylan Brooks, Fred VanVleet, Tari Eason. You have these wave of like athletic wings / guards who can just grab onto Steph and just be bigger than him and beat him to a spot where these other guys, like you can expose Mike Conley, right? Like Fred VanVleet's small. He's still a pretty good defender. He was giving Jimmy fits in that third quarter. He was giving Steph fits. Like you can go at Mike Conley. You can go at Rudy Gobert. You can go at Julius Randle. Like there's guys on this defense that you can go at. Dante DiVincenzo. You can go at DiVincenzo when he's in there. Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Steph will eat him up, right? Like there's guys you can switch on. Where with the Rockets, it just felt like if it wasn't Şengün, like there was no one we can have Steph attacking and be an easy matchup. Like it was on man, like we said, Tari Eason, all these guys. So it's gonna feel like taking the training weights off your ankles, like when you're taking the weights off, the donuts off the baseball bat when you're swinging. Like if you're Steph Curry, like getting out of that first round has to feel so good. That's the best he's going to be defended. Yeah. I mean, even when you play OKC, like they're going to throw Dort at you, but it's Dort and only Dort who you have a height advantage on. So you can still get your shot up over him. You're not going to get like a Amen Thompson jumping 10 feet over, balls in your mouth just to like block your shot. Like there's no insane athletic defenders they're going to have on you. Like the Rockets.
I mean, Sage, there was a couple plays today in the first half where Curry was trying to get Thompson off of him. Like he was using every move in his bag, and Amen was just sticking on him.
Right there, yeah.
That's the biggest part, right? I mean, you could have a great defense set up to beat Steph Curry, but if you have a guy like Amen Thompson, not a lot of guys are going to be able to do that much against him. Even in the regular season, this was the team that gave Steph the most issues.
Dude, I was saying, like, it felt like that regular season game where Steph hit 3, like, he hits the insane 3 before the half, like he did here. Like, I hope it got him going. It did. But my respect for Amen Thompson grew so massively from this series, this past month. Just playing them a bunch, like, seeing what he presents to the Warriors, especially. Like, my God, dude, this guy's an issue.
I feel like a lot of younger players, too, who are in their first playoff series, like Amen was this series, if they have a couple games like he did to start out the series where you look awful, you're missing every single free throw. You're not even shooting. Like, you're basically, you could get to the line. You could get to the rack on anybody, but he was playing so bad, he just didn't even want to touch the ball. The fact that he came back and put out a series towards the end of the series like he did, definitely get a lot of respect for Amen Thompson. But When it comes to the Wolves, don't you think it might be fool's gold a little bit what we saw in the first round?
Yeah, I think
Because the Lakers just have no big. So, like, whatever we saw with Julius Randle, halfway through the year, everybody was saying this was probably the worst trade of the past 5 years. And now he's rolling up with Ant to the press conference. It's like, okay, this is the new duo. I'm not sure about that. I think that you're going up against Jackson Hayes and Dorian Finney-Smith. You're going to be able to eat on them. I don't think that Draymond Green, even Jimmy Butler, are going to allow you to do that. So we'll see. I think that there is a chance that Ant is just the guy. He's the best player in the series. You don't really find a way to get Gobert off the court, and that's when the Warriors have issues. But we just got to wait and see because I honestly don't know what to think of the Timberwolves. I can't be for sure yet.
I mean, exactly. Like, how much of it was just the Lakers were a terrible defense and they could go at Luka Doncic, who has the highest like blow-by rate percentage in NBA history, where the Celtics laid out the blueprint, like ISO this guy and just drive it to the rim. It's going to lead to a wide open layup or a wide open three, and you should be able to hit it. I mean, like we said, when we previewed that game 5, 7 for 47 from 3 for the Wolves, and they still won because they could get to the rim, grab offensive boards. The Lakers are just the Warriors without good defense. It's like, imagine if the Warriors couldn't grab rebounds and they also couldn't defend. It'd be a nightmare to watch. It'd be so easy to just boost your offensive rating against them. So Warriors are going to present them with way, way more problems. You have guys who could guard Ant. You have guys who could expose their bigs on the perimeter. It's going to be a whole lot different.
But this is what I'll say, Sage. We had issues with the double bigs all series. They're going to be going double big the entire time. Bro. Even if Gobert gets taken off the court. Nas Reed has given us so many issues over the past.
He's a wing, though. He's more of a wing. He's not a
Come
big.
on, though. But he's going to be in the paint. He's going to be in the paint a little bit. He's going to be getting to the rack. You got Julius Randle. You got Rudy Gobert. And then the thing was with the Rockets is that even when we were going up against the double bigs, except for game 5 and 6 with Fred VanVleet, they didn't really have a perimeter guy who could hit big shots. And you got Ant now, who's playing like I think he's playing like a top 3 guy in the league. I really do. I think that he's taken that next step. I'm not sure if he's going to continue it. We saw last year, right, when he beat Nikola Jokic and the Nuggets. Then he kind of flopped against Luka and the Mavericks, lost in the Western Conference Finals. So there might be a chance that he has a similar kind of thing happen in this series. But if he takes the next step, it might be curtains.
Okay, maybe it'll be curtains, but Chase, we know what Rudy Gobert is against the Warriors in the playoffs. In the Olympics, he got benched when you have to go against Steph, and they could just put you in the blender, get you out on the perimeter. When he was on the Jazz in the playoffs, he got benched in the end because he couldn't guard Steph. They found a way. They put him in the blender. The Lakers ISO ball is cool when they just put him on Luka and an island, but when you have to deal with ball movement, everyone moving without the ball, you're going to get switched on to Steph. They're going to put Draymond at the 5, bring you up every time. You can't drop back. You have to come up. They're going to torture you. Julius Randle, do not be fooled because he ate on Rui Hachimura. He is a terrible playoff performer. He just had an easy matchup that favored him in that series, and he was able to eat. I do not trust that guy. I don't think he's anywhere near Şengün's level. I don't think Rudy Gobert presents us anywhere near the problems that Steven Adams presents us. I don't think that they can guard us as well as they can. I think they're a better offensive team for sure. It's going to be a way better series, but I just think, like, as a Warriors fan, I prefer this matchup. The rest advantage is just brutal. That's the only thing that's really, like, making me not say, like, it's an easy Warriors in 5 or 6.
So you said this is going to be a way better series. This was a tight 7-game series. You think it's going to be even tighter than this?
No, I said it's a way better matchup as a Warriors
for
fan.
The Warriors. Got it.
I'm saying, like, if you take the rest out of it, I prefer this matchup for us, like, greatly. But the rest is just so big that, like, it almost tanks you on Tuesday, where it's like, now you got to win 4 out. I would be stunned if the Warriors won Tuesday. And then it's like, you got to win 4 out of 6, which is just so tough because it is pretty even. I just prefer this matchup more.
So the Rockets definitely had a lot of guys where as you're playing this team for 3 weeks, you start to hate some guys on the team, right?
Yeah,
I mean, you got Dylan Brooks, Jalen Green's painting his fingernails. Draymond's giving him shit. He's giving shit back to Draymond. Steven Adams, we've had battles with him in the past. Fred VanVleet, thank God I never got to see that guy in the playoffs again, most likely. Yeah, we all remember what he did in 2019. I still didn't forget that. And I think this was even worse in this series. So a lot of guys you hated in that Rockets series, but I think the T-Wolves, we love Ant now. Ant is going to be, we're going to hate the fuck out of Ant. The next,
he had that call out a few years ago. They said, who's the one team you want to beat in the playoffs? He said the Warriors because Draymond talks. So this is his chance, man. And
they're going to be going at it. They're going to be going at it, man.
Put down LeBron, put down KD, Book, all these guys. So Steph's next on the list. We'll see how it goes.
Jaden McDaniels is also a guy that I'm not looking forward to playing. Not in the fact that, like, I think he's good. I just know that he's going to bring the drama.
He fouls out, though, almost every game. He's always in foul trouble. He's a dirty guy. He's not a, like, he's not seasoned. What's the word? He's not a, like, poised defender. Like, Amen, man. Like, he never fouls. Amen never fouls. He moves his feet, recovers well. Like, Jaden Daniels fouls or McDaniels. As soon as you have him beat, he grabs, he holds, and he gets called. I mean, 3 out of the 5 games in the Lakers series, he was in foul trouble. And the other 2, he let him up from 3. So, he's a very hot and cold guy. You don't know what you're going to get. So he's definitely a wild card going into the series. Him and DiVincenzo could really swing it.
But we know that DiVincenzo, even though I really like DiVincenzo's game, he's never going to be a guy where you look back at the end of the series and you think, okay, we lost the series because of like what Dante DiVincenzo did. He could hit shots every here and there.
Hey, that's what the Rockets fans were saying before this series with Buddy Hield. They'll never get over this. I mean, what the fuck? He had 0 points last game to, what was it, 33 tonight, 32 tonight. God bless Buddy Hield, bro.
Yeah, we thought it was bad with what Fred VanVleet was doing. Oh, my God. The Rockets fans. Do you feel bad for them a little bit? Like
no,
a little bit?
Not one bit, bro. Not one bit. They were all talking to Steph. Like, there's this old lady sitting behind the scorer's table. If you're watching on the Warriors broadcast, they were showing her a bit. Not intentionally. She was just there a lot, like talking to Steph, like when we were up 20, because he was celebrating, like, should I do the night? And she was just like going,
he didn't do it, right?
No, he didn't do it.
Yeah.
He showed some respect, but I don't know, man. I have no bit of pity or sympathy for them. I am so done with them. I'm so glad we're on to the next.
All right, Sager. I mean, we're at 41 minutes here. What a win. I honestly wanted to go.
Warriors are the Warriors,
tonight,
man.
But
Chase, one last thing.
Warriors. Yeah.
For whatever the Niners don't give us, the Warriors have always given it to us. I should have never doubted them because they always come through in the biggest moments. Like, I'm so glad that this is my team because they have given me so many highs. This game 7 will live with me forever. Just like that Kings one. It's just another game to go back and just think like another classic Steph Curry performance in the clutch. 46 minutes tonight, bro. Age 37.
Well, I was texting my buddy Boston Nick because, you know, it is illegal technically to gamble on sports in California. So, you know, got to hit up Boston Nick. Let's just say that I may have an account that is related to my credit card where I could process bets in Massachusetts. But I told him, I don't know why I do this to myself where it's such a big game. If the Warriors win, I'm going to be to the moon for the rest of the week. And if I lose, I'm going to be down the dumps. Why do I have to throw a 10-unit bet down on them too? I always do this, but the Niners rail me in the you-know-what every time that I do it. And the Warriors always pull through. And Sage, what did I say at the end of last episode? I said, sometimes when everything looks like it's going to shit and you got a guy like Steph Curry, you just got to put faith that you got Steph Curry and he's going to find a way. And even though it wasn't his best day, start of the fourth quarter, what do you see? When the Rockets could have taken a chance at the game, he gets it to 13 right away. I think he ended the game, Sage. I mean, for how bad it started off, this was Steph. 8 of 16, 4 of 10 from 3, 10 boards, 7 dimes.
Yeah, he threw up like a 60-foot shot at the end of the second, or at the end of the third, too.
You just got to love Steph Curry. Anything else before we head out of here, Sager?
I think we hit it all, man. Excited for Tuesday. That's all I could say. Excited
for Tuesday. So is that Friday? So that'd be Tuesday, Thursday, and then we got Saturday game.
Saturday at the crib. At the crib.
Okay, so I don't think that we're going to do another episode previewing the T-Wolves, but I'll say this because I think that's going to be game 2. Game 2 is the series. No, like I legit am convinced that whoever wins that game is going to win the series. I think that T-Wolves win game 1. If they go up 2-0, that might be too much for us to come back from. If we win game 2, I think we get control of it from there on out.
All right, we'll see.
We'll see. But all right, Warriors get the win. They beat the Rockets 103-89 in Houston in game 7. Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Buddy Hield, Jimmy Butler advance to the second round. We're taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves with Anthony Edwards. It's going to be an interesting one. Hey, if you guys are on the stream, if you're watching the video, subscribe to our YouTube. Sage, where else can they find us?
TikTok, Twitter, Red Note. We're everywhere. Anywhere you can get social media, you'll find us.
Yeah, if you have a Twitch, I think we got like one loyal follower on Twitch. If you're watching on Twitch right now, hey, we thank you. We love you. Whoever you may be, we do appreciate you. But That's going to be it for the stream. You don't get a lot of Game 7 wins. Just got to soak it in. We'll talk to you guys later.